Excuse me. These are some of the things that I got in my grief box. There's a pocket hug, and this came with the lavender and the dagger's eye bead, which is right here, or stone, which is right here, and the lavender oil is right here, and then a pen, Suicide Awareness and Prevention Program 988, and I got some bear root and some cedar, and I also have some right here. Also have some bitter root, and the medicines are used for a lot of different ailments, but it's funny because up until now I only knew bitter root as root. I say root funny, I guess. Bitter root I knew as something to help with mouth or tooth pain up until just recently, and a candle, which is perfect because it's eucalyptus, and so it helps with breathing when you're all stuffed up from crying so much. And then this little shell was wrapped up filled with sage, and then this other one they sent me too, because I actually gave my larger one away to my son's widow, and the book that I started reading, and this beautiful blanket that I wrap myself in when I sit back here at my desk. It's a gorgeous blanket. And so I wanted to share with you a few things that they sent me in my grief box to help me get through a little bit easier. And this actually talks about the medicine that they sent. So there's the bag, which is over here with my other medicines. So hold on really quick. Oh my goodness, it's stuck. Okay, so here's the bag, and inside is some cedar and sweetgrass, or sage and cedar and matches, and that's the bag, my medicine bag, and then it tells you about each one and the purpose of why you use these things, and the local word for everything, and the English word for everything. Then on the other side it shows the shell, and it's the abalone shell, and it's one of my favorites. It's actually gorgeous. And then the cedar, and this is the bear, which you can use. You could burn it like cedar, with cedar and sage and sweetgrass, or you can put it in tea or something else. And same with the bitter root. I've been burning some of the bear root, but I've also been putting it in my tea because it does help with relaxation and calming, which is what I'm having a huge problem with, sleep and everything. And so, whoops, goodness, I'm having a hard time with this even. So it's the red willow, and the rest of the kit. And actually, I don't believe I got red willow in this box, but it's fine. I mean, look at how much I was given. It's amazing. Unless the red willow might be in the bottom of this bag, but I pulled out. See, There's sage and cedar, and it's breaking all apart, and some matches. Yeah, no red willow. But isn't it gorgeous? It's so beautiful and so sweet and so kind. And it seems like when you suffer through something like this, people forget about you. And I didn't even get not one card. I only got 1 or 2 visits. And it's like it's too much for them to face. Or it's, they don't care. I have one friend that every time my voice starts to get shaky, she's like, let's talk about something else because you're getting upset. And so she doesn't even want to hear anything about it at all, And I understand, but I've only talked to her a couple of times. So it's not like she's been overwhelmed with it, because I've only talked to her a couple of times. And anyway, it's so tragic that my boy is gone. But anything at all that you can find comfort in while you're suffering is a beautiful thing, right? Because it's comforting your soul, which feels like it's been completely ripped out of your body. And so this little medicine bag has made a huge difference. And I'm so greatly appreciated for it, or appreciated for it, grateful for it. And it is the Great Plains Tribal Health. If you would like to make a donation so that every family that loses a loved one, especially through suicide, has something that they have something available to send to them to make them feel even just a little bit better. Oh, I also got this journal too. And there's another journal, but it's in my bedroom right now, and it's on the other end of the house. But this is Great Plains Health. They have a hospital now. It used to be called Susan, but that's when the National Health Department or Federal Health Department, whichever one, was running it, and now the natives have taken it over and are running it. And but the suicide awareness and prevention program is a huge deal because Native Americans are the largest or the biggest or okay, so Native Americans have the biggest stats of suicide in the United States, and South Dakota has the greatest number of suicide in the United States. So it's a double whammy in South Dakota. So if you can and would like to donate, I'm sure they would greatly appreciate it because they sent me this box FedEx, which couldn't have been cheap. Even if they have a deal with FedEx, it's still costing them something, And to be able to do this with as many families as they can is very important. And I also want to remind you that 988 is nationwide, 24/7. You can call in the middle of the night and there's going to be somebody to talk to, which is actually how I got involved because I was having problems and it was really late at night and I didn't know what to do or who to talk to. And so I called that number. But at first I thought it was just for people. It's the cedar. First I thought it was just for people that were suicidal. And I told them, I'm not suicidal, but I don't know what to do or how to do anything anymore, and I needed to talk to someone that knows what's that knew what I was going through, because nobody around me knew what was going on. And of course, in the middle of the night, you can't just call up anybody you want, right? And so this is a book that I'm working on right now. That's what they sent me. And it's about all kinds of grief and loss, not just suicide, loss of suicide, loss by suicide. But I'm sorry, I'm stuttering and mumbling. It's really late, and I had my eye doctor appointment today, and so, they dilate your eyes and do all those checks and scans and all that. And I was going blind in my right eye because I had a stroke where my brain swelled from a blood clot, and it damaged my optic nerve, and so I was going blind in my right eye. And then I found out today at the doctor's office that the car crash I had that almost killed me in 2021 and busted up just about everything above my waist. And apparently it hit my head so hard that it took the pressure off my optic nerve. And so my right eye, the scans are better than they were the last time because of my car crash. Could you imagine you hit your head so hard you can see better again? Like that. I don't recommend it, of course, but isn't that crazy? It's like it's a beautiful thing. And when life has become a place where there's not a lot of beauty right now, I don't feel a lot of beauty. And I haven't even started like planting my seeds and stuff. Like right now, I'd already have like 140 or more planted, here in the house. And I have I have five. And that's just because one of my friends had said, you hadn't started planting yet. And I said, no. And it used to be something I loved so much. If you look at my videos, you could see like my plants were just so important to me, and it was such a wonderful thing to me. And then now it just feels so hollow and empty. You know how they say, like, cooked with love? Well, I don't feel like I'm growing it with love. I feel like I'm growing it out of, I'm trying to, I planted moonflowers, which are beautiful. And I planted one of my sages, which is beautiful and medicinal. And I planted Jimson weed because it's beautiful. And but really I haven't planted a whole lot or done a whole lot because of grief. It even food doesn't taste as good as it used to. And I don't have cravings like, I have cravings like, it used to be like Chinese food or pizza or like whatever, Mexican tacos, whatever, I don't have those anymore. And food just doesn't taste as good. And so I've lost like 20 pounds. But I'm working on gaining it back. It's just the doctor recommended the insured drinks, but they are way too expensive for somebody that lives off disability to afford more than like 1 or 2 6-packs a month when you have to pay all the bills and every gas and vehicle repairs, and everything. Now my Jeep needs a fuel pump and a brake booster and some other things. So it is what it is. I guess I won't be able to afford to go to Colorado this month. I couldn't afford it last month. Hopefully I'll be able to afford it next month because I really need to see my son's widow and the grandkids because they really enjoy having me around because I'm very different from everybody else they knew except for my son. And so they love having me around, and I just can't afford to keep going back and forth like some people can, but I do have a Cash App if you're interested and helping with the travels and doing something nice for the grandkids when I see them, because one is 8 and one is 13, and they are really, really struggling without their daddy. And she's really struggling because they were together since they were 16, which means they were together for 16 years, and they had just celebrated their 16th anniversary like a week before he relapsed and shot himself. And no matter how much you pray or what you say or do, it's never going to be okay, and he's never coming back. And so, anyway, her nor I have a large family to help support us, emotionally or physically or financially or any of that. And so, she calls me almost daily. We talk almost daily. And I have really no one here to talk to except for this group of ladies that have stepped up to help, because of me calling 988. Now I do have a lot more support. And there's a gas station I go to that one of the ladies, her son killed himself about 10 years ago. And so I only go to that gas station anymore because they were so loyal and faithful when I was falling apart. They helped me through a lot. And even financially, when I was counting quarters for gas, one of them gave me $20 worth of gas, and that was a big deal at the time. Anyway, when I was working, $20 wasn't that big of a deal, but when you can't work anymore, $20 is a very big deal. But I wanted to show you. I get these tea bags off of Amazon. And so instead of using a dispenser or whatever you call them, I make my own tea bags with my herbs. And so then you can mix and choose which herbs you like to mix and stuff. And you know exactly what's in the tea bag because you put it in there yourself. So I think they're a safer alternative for tea is to just get these little tea bags and make it yourself. And in this one is some bitterroot and some bare root and some cedar. And I put it in a regular cup of black hot tea. And it's cold by now, probably sitting out here on the phone. But anyway, I just wanted to share how just little things of beauty can mean a whole lot to someone when they feel like their whole world is. I feel like God picked me up and shook me upside down and everything fell out and it's all gone. That's how I feel. Love you guys. Have a good night.